Quality means doing it right when no one is looking. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success. Anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. Anyone who keeps learning stays young. The greatest thing in life is to keep your mind young. Wealth, like happiness, is never attained when sought after directly. It comes as a byproduct of providing a useful service. You can't build a reputation on what you are going to do. If you think you can do a thing or think you can't do a thing, you're right. Thinking is the hardest work there is, which is probably the reason so few engage in it. Hard knocks have a place and value, but hard thinking goes farther in less time. The only real mistake is the one from which we learn nothing. If I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said, faster horses. When everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. An idealist is a person who helps other people to be prosperous. The Depression was just a state of mind. It is over for everyone who has changed his state of mind. The basically simple things are best, whether it's automobiles or diets or philosophy. Greatest thing we can produce is character. Everything else can be taken from us, but not our character. I believe God is managing affairs and that He doesn't need any advice from me. With God in charge, I believe everything will work out for the best in the end. So what is there to worry about? Any man can learn anything he will, but no man can teach except to those who want to learn. Coming together is the beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. If the people really set their minds on anything, it is impossible to prevent their getting what they want. If there is any one secret of success, it lies in the ability to get the other person's point of view and see things from that person's angle as well as from your own. The whole secret of a successful life is to find out what is one's destiny to do, and then do it. It has been my observation that most people get ahead during the time that others waste. One of the greatest discoveries a person makes, one of their great surprises, is to find they can do what they were afraid they couldn't do. We don't want tradition. We want to live in the present, and the only history that is worth a tinker's damn is the history we make today. The best way is always the simplest. The attics of the world are cluttered up with complicated failures. To do more for the world than the world does for you, that is success. The short successes that can be gained in a brief time and without difficulty are not worth much. The highest use of capital is not to make more money, but to make money do more for the betterment of life. A business that makes nothing but money is a poor business. It is not the employer who pays the wages. Employers only handle the money. It is the customer who pays the wages. A market is never saturated with a good product, but it is very quickly saturated with a bad one. Two classes of people lose money: those who are too weak to guard what they have, those who win money by trick. They both lose in the end. An imitation may be quite successful in its own way, but imitation can never be success. Success is a first-hand creation. Vision without execution is just hallucination. Nothing is particularly hard if you divide it into small jobs. I do not believe a man can ever leave his business. He ought to think of it by day and dream of it by night. The man who will use his skill and constructive imagination to see how much he can give for $1, instead of how little he can give for $1, is bound to succeed. If money is your hope for independence, you will never have it. The only real security that a man will have in this world is a reserve of knowledge, experience, and ability. Most people spend more time and energy going around problems than in trying to solve them. Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goals. Chop your own wood and it will warm you twice. Most people think that faith means believing something. Oftener it means trying something, giving it a chance to prove itself. There is no man living who isn't capable of doing more than he thinks he can do. Don't find fault, find a remedy. Anybody can complain. The most dangerous notion a young man can acquire is that there is no more room for originality. There is no large room for anything else. You don't have to hold a position in order to be a leader. The only thing you can give a man without hurting him is an opportunity. You say I started out with practically nothing, but that isn't correct. We all start with all there is. It's how we use it that makes things possible. Greatest thing in life is experience. Even mistakes have value. You can't learn in school what the world is going to do next year. I cannot discover that anyone knows enough to say what is and what is definitely not possible. As we advance in life, we learn the limits of our abilities. Enthusiasm is the yeast that makes your hopes shine to the stars. There is joy in work. There is no happiness except in the realization that we have accomplished something. America is not a land of money but of wealth, not a land of rich people, but of successful workers.